Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, November 16th, 2018. Running a little early today. Again, we're going to try to do this podcast live about 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday, we should be able to stick to that schedule. 1 p.m., that's Pacific Standard Time, so that's 4 o'clock on the East Coast. But on Fridays, there's going to be some wiggle room. It's the day where I have to run a lot of errands and whatnot. So today we're starting at 11 a.m. I don't have as much content to cover today. Usually Friday is a slower day in the news cycle. So be taking your phone calls. Hopefully we can get some great calls to fill it in. The number to dial in, 509-731-0567. So before we get to the current news, just want to go back in history and talk about a couple things that happened on this day. It was November 16th, 1914, that the Federal Reserve expanded, adding 12 new branches, making 13 branches total, like the 13 layers of bricks on the dollar bill. Now, what's so interesting about that is from the day that the Federal Reserve was officially established to the date of its expansion was exactly 47 weeks on the nose. And recall, banks in Gematria sums to 47, a very special number to Freemasonry, which has its symbolism all over the US dollar bill. The symbolism is Masonic, and there's a lot of 13 on that dollar bill too. So on this date, they brought it to 13 branches. And notice that Federal Reserve in Gematria sums to 235. That's very reminiscent of the legs of the compass in the Freemason logo. Each leg is kicked out at a 23.5 degree angle, making a total angle of 47 degrees. Just like the tropics of this earth are at 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south. So again, from the establishment of the bank in 1913 to the addition of the 12 extra branches, bringing it to 47 weeks. And don't forget that time equals 47, like the tropics being separated by 47 degrees, and time has a lot to do with 13. The Jews measure time by the moon, which has 13 cycles each year. And with regards to the sun and the zodiac, there's a sun and 12 constellations of stars. So 13. 13, a ritual in time, perfectly planned. In Jewish Gematria, the word mafia equals 47. And if you've ever seen the gangster film King of New York, Christopher Walken plays Frank White. There's a scene in that film where they show his birthday on a computer screen, and it's April 7th, and not by accident. 47. 47. So that was today in history 104 years ago. 10-4 over and out. Also, this day in history, November 16th, 2006, Nancy Pelosi became the first ever female Speaker of the House. And what's interesting is she was 66 years old when that happened, born in 1940. She was 66. Woman equals 66. Perfect age to become the first female Speaker of House. It also happened 235 days after her birthday. Familiar pattern, right? 235, again, a lot like 23.5. You add those two degrees together, you get 47 degrees. Remember, that's the big number in Washington, D.C., 47. And with regards to 47, it was earlier this year in 2018. It was February 7th, 2018, that Nancy Pelosi set a record for the longest speech in House history. The speech was about the Dreamers program, which equals 47. The speech was on a date, 2/7/2018, 2 plus 7 plus 20 plus 18, 47 numerology. And of course, all these things sum to 47 in our base ciphers. DC, Democrat, Republican, Whig, government, White House authority, President, Caesar, Trump, agent. Big number there in D.C. again and again. We just talked about with Jeff Sessions resigning / being fired 47 days before his birthday, where the name Jeff Sessions is 47. Notice Nancy Pelosi, her name's 52 and 133 like government. Also 56 like Washington, D.C. So she's got those numbers, Nancy. She became the first female Speaker of the House on this day in history by the numbers. By the way, that was a date with getting a phone call from Egypt right now. I've never gotten a phone call from Egypt. Anyway, today's date, it's got the 53 numerology, or not today's date, the date that she became Speaker of the House, date with 53 numerology. That number's connected to the feminine. Vesica Pisces equals 53. It's the womb of the universe, womb 53. Was also a date with 33 numerology, like federal, like masonry, like secrecy. What runs the show in D.C. Guess I could also mention that when you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 66 like woman. So, another headline, Quincy Jones, the son, the oldest son of Kim Porter, who died yesterday by the numbers on the date that we said we would see some celebrity deaths. Quincy Jones, her oldest son, at the beginning of this month, his first movie where he stars in was released. That film came out November 2nd, 13 days before her death. And let me show you what's so interesting about the name of the film in light of the day his mother died. Keep in mind this son, Quincy Brown, who's named after Quincy Jones, he's 27 years old. We know about 27 and rituals. His surname is Brown, having Gematria in 27, Gematria of 27, and the 2 reduction-based ciphers. Just like how rituals 27. Again, this is why so many entertainers have died at this age. And we also talk about why so many people die in connection to this number again and again, not always at the age of 27. So Quincy Brown loses his mother at this age. Mainstream media continues to report that she was 47 years old because that's a Masonic signature. She was really 46, dead on the day, leaving 46 days left in the year. We're going to revisit that real quick. But the film that he just starred in, just released in France, nation with a whole lot of Masonic history. By the way, France equals 47. It was a French 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason who laid out the plan for the city of Washington, D.C., the city that's all about 47, France with its long Masonic history. So anyhow, this man's film just came out, The Holiday Calendar, and look at this. From his birthday, June 4th, which is also this is actually his father right here, his father's birthday and his birthday, both men, both born June 4th, father and son. From his birthday, his 27th, to the death of his mother was the 165th day of his age, as well as his father's. And look at the film title, The Holiday Calendar, 165. Scottish Rite, 165. Earlier in the day, the same day as the death of his mother, there was the death of the country music star Roy Clark, who used to host Hee Haw on TV. He was a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason, you know? Scottish Rite of Freemasonry has its longest history in France, where his film just released as well. And don't forget that Diddy, or Puff Daddy, or Sean Combs, he's the man for Bad Boy. And Bad Boy has that gematria of 113, like Roy Clark, who also died on this day, also like Scottish, as in Scottish Rite. And again, the word is Svengali. Svengali. Svengali has that gematria of 46 as well. She's dead on the day, leaving 46 days left in the year. That's the word that has to do with the evil in the entertainment industry. That's like a spider web. People dying, being sacrificed for somebody else's fame and gain. So the mother had to go so the son could elevate his status. His full name's Quincy Taylor Brown. In the base ciphers, that name also has Gematria 207, not unlike 27, his age. I want to go back to yesterday's post just to remind you about things we covered in case you missed that. This woman, she's reported as being 47, but if you look up her birthday, she's born December 16th, 1971, which means she was going to turn 47 next month. She's still 46, dead on the day, leaving 46 days left in the year. The emphasis on Diddy, not an accident. Diddy 46, Sacrifice 46, Rap 46. Puff Daddy's the head of the rap label, Bad Boy. Dead November 15th, the 319th day of the year, leaving 46 days remaining. We said there would be celebrity deaths on this day on October 16th, 2018, which was also a date that we said we'd see celebrity deaths because of the numerology. Killing in Masonic, 319. Her birthday, this was verified. This is her true birthday. She really was 46 when she passed. Puff Daddy's 49 years old. Bad Boy also has the Gematria 49 like model. I should also mention Scottish equals 49. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry has their headquarters in Washington, Washington 49. America's also 49. George Washington was a Scottish Rite Freemason. Also, just as a reminder, Kim Porter, she had birth numerology of 118, name Gematria of 118, death Gematria of 118. And again, Prince had that same Gematria. He died 319 days after his birthday. Even had a song about 319. And the date of her death, 44 and 64 numerology corresponding with kill. Every single month when the numerology rolls up this way, happens once a month, we see the deaths again and again. So there was one other thing I wanted to point out about her death in light of her son Quincy. And let me see. Thought I had it linked here. This is the one. Remember, TMZ broke this news yesterday. TMZ always breaks the news with the death, almost always. And we were saying, look at how they chose this picture here. I mean, this woman's a model. There's so many pictures of this woman. They chose this picture, not the most flattering picture. The reason they did it is because of the 35 in the background. Again, that number is significant. Rap's 35. Again, Bad Boy, Puff Daddy, rap music. We see this number come up often in these suspicious ritual deaths. We talked about it with Mack Miller. The word Svengali also has the Gematria of 35. And the word spider is also 35. I think I noted it down here. I did. So her son Quincy, he has the name Gematria of 35. Svengali 35. Svengali comes from a fictional story, but it's a real thing in the industry. And Svengali's illustrated with a spider because it's a web of deceit and evil and rituals. You know, one woman dies, it's for her son's career. It's for Puff Daddy's continued career. Maybe even for the father of Quincy Brown, and perhaps even others that we haven't realized yet. But we talked about this number a whole lot in regards to the death of Aretha Franklin, who died the same day Elvis died, and the overwhelming 35 ritual between the two of them, also connecting it to Madonna, who had her birthday on the day Aretha Franklin died, and who then went on at the MTV VMAs and gave the speech about Aretha Franklin, talking about how she began her own music career with $35 in her pocket. So this stuff's evil. And speaking of evil, you know, a word that we associate with evil, Satan. Satan also has this Gematria of 35, as does Baphomet. So, and you might recall the day that Aretha Franklin died, which was a ritual that had a lot to do with 35, there was a headline about the Baphomet statue being released by the Church of Satan for that day. They had a protest on that same day. So again, recognize the patterns. That's what this is about. This is how I figured out that this wasn't just some hoax or some coincidence or some accident. These were real rituals being executed in numbers. And again, it's why we're able to call so many dates of things that happen in the news before they do, from murders to elections to sports games to, false flag shootings. The world elite work through numbers. It's obvious that the code of the world elite involves Kabbalah. That's where the term the Cabal comes from. Kabbalah says God created the world by merging the letter with the number, or that's a belief within Kabbalah. And you just see it when you know the code. You realize, oh, this is why TMZ put out that picture right there. And it probably is signaling right here to her son. So good work to the people who pointed out his new movie. You guys were right on. Sticking with hip-hop for a moment, on the same day that this woman died, and Roy Clark, Nas, big star in hip-hop, he released a short film for his album that came out earlier this year. I believe it was June 15th. We'll look more at that date. He released a short film to promote that album. And it was no accident it came out on the 319th day of the year. The full name of Nas is Nasir bin Uludara Jones. 319. The date of the release of the short film. Notice that's also the day leaving 46 days left in the year. We talked about how rap has the Gematria of 46. Look more at that. But the name of the short film is Nasir. His first name has this Gematria of 61 and 74, just like Jesus. And this album was entirely produced by Kanye West. And we've been talking about these exact numbers with Kanye West an awful lot in recent times. If you're new here, go to my videos and then do a search and just type in Kanye. You'll see how we've been talking about these numbers. And we've been talking about them a lot with hip-hop music, even beyond Kanye West. So anyway, Nasir has that Gematria of 61 and 74 like Jesus. And they love to do these Jesus on the cross sacrifice rituals with these hip-hop stars often. We talked about how James Brown died on Christmas Day when Nas was 33 years old, and he died in connection to Nas, who just sampled his song around that same time. Nas was 33 years old at the time. He has God's son tattooed on his stomach. God's son equals 33. Big number there with Jesus. But anyway, notice that Nasir Jones, his first and last name, has overlap also with Jesus Christ. See that? The 43, the 146. Nas's mother was a Christian and his father was a Muslim. Muhammad also has the Gematria of 74 and 43 like Jesus Christ. Not by accident. Big numbers to Masonry, and Masonry's put their fingerprints on all of the religions through the English translations. Notice Nasir Jones is also 65 like Christianity. Knights Templar sums to 65. You have to be a Christian to join the Masonic fraternity that is the Knights Templar. With regards to the 61 in Nasir, again, the album was entirely produced by Kanye West, a name that equals 33, who now goes by the name Yandi and has gone by Yeezus, and who dresses up as Jesus at his concerts, and one of his first big songs was Jesus Walks. Yandi Yeezus. Remember the stunt in Hollywood, February 22nd, 2017. The date was 61 numerology. The picture of Kanye West on the cross right here. Also, famous rapper from history, Tupac, Gematria 61 and 74. His alias Machiavelli 74. His final album released after his death. Tupac on the cross, cross 7461. So Machiavelli, there it was. Nas also has the Gematria of 47, the reflection is 74. And Christian also 47 and 61. So is Christmas. And again, James Brown died on Christmas Day. Part of that sacrifice was for Nas and his continued career. He was 33 years old then. So notice Nas is 45 years old right now. Biblical number. From his birthday, September 14th, to the release of this thing was 62 days later. And remember, sacrifice is 46 and 62. Nas will be 46 next year. And a lot of these rappers died prematurely. And just as I said that out loud, I'm just thinking about something. How old was Craig Mack when he died earlier this year? Was he 46? He was 46. Okay, I wasn't planning to talk about this, but it just came into my head. Craig Mack was on the Bad Boy label. You know, Puff Daddy, who just lost his ex, who has mother of his 3 children. Craig Mack went down at 46 this year, too. Flavor in Your Ear. His hit song had that Gematria 74. Rappers also 74. I should have put that up there. That's pretty crucial. Rappers 74 with the alphabetic order. He died 59 days after his birthday, did Craig Mack. Bad Boy Records 59. 59, number stamped all over Black History. Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59. Motown came out in 59 on the 42nd parallel. Craig Mack also has the Gematria 60, like the N-word with the alphabetic order. But anyway, this is my point. How old was oh no, he was 42. I was just thinking of Prodigy from Mobb Deep. He was 42 years old. His death in Vegas synced up with the anniversary of Tupac's death. But again, this number of 46, it's around sacrifice a lot. I just wonder. I wonder if Nas might get it next year in light of the release of this album and what it's called and just all the rituals from hip-hop history. If Nas doesn't get it, there's probably somebody else who's connected to him that's going to get it. You know, it's not an accident that they did this. You know, Jesus Christ, cross, this is all sacrifice symbolism. And that's what they do again and again with these hip-hop stars. If they don't kill the hip-hop star themselves, they kill somebody in connection to them. So anyway, my eyes are on Nas. I'm wondering if he might get it at 46. Again, this comes out 62 days after his birthday, on the day leaving 46 days left in the year. And again, Rap's got that Gematria 46 too. Just in case you signed up, I saw new people are here. I'm just going to go back real quick and explain something. Just in case you're new and you still don't got this, 4 base ciphers. These are them. The dark green's the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. The next cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So A is still 1, B is still 2, C is still 3. When you get to the double-digit letters, you make them single-digit numbers by using numerology. So Z, the 26th letter, you take the numerology of 26, which is just adding the digits. 2 plus 6 is 8. Y, the 25th letter, would be 2 plus 5 is 7. So Z is 8, Y is 7, X would become 6, 2 plus 4 is 6. So that's how that works. This cipher is the reverse alphabetic order. Z is 1, back to A is 26. And this is the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So we're just looking at our 4 base ciphers here and how all of these things line up again and again. So Nas, his album came out June 15th this year. The one that they made the short movie for that released yesterday. What's interesting about this date is it's the day leaving 199 days left in the year, which is the 46th prime number. You see, these numbers have a relationship, 199, the 46th prime. And from June 15th to November 15th is 153 days. Now that's another Holy Bible number. Holy Bible is 153, so is the Bible. Like the miraculous catch of 153 fish with Jesus. 153, the 17th triangular number. God has that Gematria 17. Nas calls himself God's son. So you see how they refer to him as the Adam and Eve rapper here? Biblical, right? It's biblical. The film's 16 minutes. 53 is the 16th prime. Religion's 53. They released Tupac's album, Machiavelli, 53 days after his death. The Kanye West Cross and Hollywood was on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. But Nas is 45 years old right now. Hip hop's 45, so is Holy Bible, 45 forwards and backwards. I'm sure there's a whole lot more to this. The other men involved, I see a lot of different names from the industry in here, but I just focused on the Kanye West part since that's who executively produced the album. You see, Kanye West is releasing his album Yandhi later this year by the Jesus numbers, as we talked about. You can go back and check out that video. It's on the YouTube channel. I just got to say, in light of talking about Nas, if I ruled the world, I'd make sure everybody knew about Gematria. You know. So here's another story. Today, a federal judge rules that White House has to return Jim Acosta's press pass. And let's see how they lined up this one. This whole thing's been news by the numbers as we've covered. Just in case you forgot the prior detail, it was this. Jim Acosta's 47 years old. And CNN sued on November 13th. Jim Acosta's 211th day of his age. 211 is the 47th prime. News is 47. So is Trump. So is White House. So is president. So is government. So is authority. So is Republicans. So is Democrats. So is DC. Trump's The Apprentice, 211, again, the 47th prime. And Jewish Gematria, Mason's 211, the 47th prime, like the 47 degrees. And the day of the suit was a date with 62 numerology. Mason 62, Jim Acosta 62. And it was also the day leaving 48 days left in the year. Donald Trump was a date with 42 numerology, Freemason 42, 48. And with regards to it being the 13th, CNN 13, suing on the 13th. When you add 1 through 13 together, it equals 91, also like Jim Acosta. So there was that. Now today's the follow-up. 3 days later, a judge rules that the press pass has to be returned. Remember, when you write out 13, it sums to 45 forwards and backwards. We're on the day leaving 45 days left in the year. It's also a date with 45 numerology, November 16th, 18th, 45 date. From Trump's birthday, you know, the man who kicked Jim Acosta out, from his birthday to today's is 156th day of his age. And when you write out 33, it's 156, like how press pass is 33, like how return is 33. They have to return the press pass. Of course, in that same cipher, federal, masonry, secrecy, order, they all sum to 33. Like how there's 33 pillars, each 33 feet tall, on the outside of the House of the Temple in Washington, D.C. The judge who ruled on this, his name's Timothy J. Kelly, summing to 185, just like Donald John Trump in that same cipher. If you lose the middle initial, Timothy Kelly's 58, like Freemasonry, like secret society, like how Trump's the winner of the 58th U.S. presidential election. Remember, Freemasonry's 58 and 59, and Hebrew Freemasonry also sums to 59. Timothy's got Gematria of 110 like president, 65 like the date numerology. Not hard to see the ritual. And again, I'll remind you, Jim Acosta is starring in House of Cards right now, the TV show about the presidency, and here's Trump, the Trump card. Some more mockery in the news. This broke last night. Florida county recounts votes for nothing. And of course, everybody who votes for nothing. They validate a lie. It's not who votes, it's who counts the votes. And even in the US, we get that quote in our textbooks, learning history year after year, meant to mock us. You know, because that's what they do in the US when we grow up in our school system. We learn that we're so great, and all these other countries, they're illegitimate. They rig their elections. They bombard their people with propaganda. They brainwash their people. God bless America. You should be so happy to be an American. America's the greatest nation ever. It's the freest nation ever. If you were born anywhere else, you know, you'd have to go through all these other treacheries. Meanwhile, the truth is all those other treacheries are what we go through here. You know, it's almost a blessing to be asleep so you don't have to see it. But I knew it for sure when I was a senior in high school with what happened in the 2000 election, Bush-Gore. That was my senior year of high school. I couldn't vote. I was 17, and I never voted because of it. I just saw what a joke it was. And it was Florida then, too, by the numbers. But this happened yesterday. This happened yesterday, the day leaving 46 days left in the year. They found out their vote didn't count. Because apparently the deadline, they were 2 minutes late. Can you imagine being 2 minutes late on the deadline in such an important matter? And can you also imagine, I mean, it's such a mockery, you guys. 2 minutes late, right? 2 minutes late, so they had to throw out the whole thing. The rules are the rules. Truth is, you know, those in control of the show make the rules. But the thing about 2 is 2 using simple English gematria, which is the alphabetic order. That's 20 plus 23 plus 15, T plus W plus O, it's 58, right? Just like how George W. Bush is 58, just like how Bush is 58, like how Bush won with 271 electoral votes, the 58th prime, like how I pointed out that this news came, the news of this recount formulating began November 9th, 271 days after Jeb Bush's birthday. 271, the 58th prime. He was the governor of Florida when his brother became the president, thanks to the controversial recount that was blocked by the Supreme Court. It's a mockery. It's news by the numbers every single day. I need Lauryn Hill to sing If I Ruled the World for me. But I definitely teach this to all the kids in school. They deserve to know it. I wish I could go back in time and somebody had already figured this out and come to my class, 2000 election, and teach me gematria. I would have been the most grateful. You know, and there would have been no question about the lies of 9/11. So here's another one in the news today. Jewish woman wins court fight to be able to sue neo-Nazi publisher. And you know what this story has to do with? It has to do with a neo-Nazi publisher trolling a woman online. And I'm sure there's people in the world who would say I'm a neo-Nazi, even though I'm not, you know, because there's these labels, right? These labels, they just get put on people even if they don't belong. Oh, he questions the Holocaust. That's only something neo-Nazis do. You know, that's what the ADL's out there doing right now. Only neo-Nazis question the Holocaust. So anyway, today has a life lesson number 38, Jews 38 like Germany, right? Talking about Nazis. And if you read the article, supposedly this neo-Nazi was waging a troll storm. He was waging a troll storm. Troll storm, 45, right? Today leaves 45 days left in the year. We got 45 date numerology, 11 plus 16 plus 18. And again, all of these headlines are just building. They're drops in the bucket. Something needs to be done about people online, neo-Nazis, ADL saying that all questioning the Holocaust is hate speech and should be banned from social media. That's what they're advocating for right now. So, and then you have things rising up on YouTube like the Goyim Defense League. And they're just, you know, they're just blaming all Jews and just painting with a broad brush. They're not being specific. They're saying that, you know, it just seems that all of this stuff is paving the way for what they want to be done. And this has already been done all over the world. You know, there's all sorts of countries in the world, especially in Europe, where if I was doing what I was doing, I wouldn't be doing it because I'd be in a jail cell and I'd be buried in fines. And it's going to happen here. You know, I don't know how far off it is, but it's happening. You know, we see the freedom of speech disappearing. It was shortly after 9/11 that they created the free speech zones and having to go buy a government permit to have a protest. I mean, what? I got to pay the government to protest the government? No, that's not freedom of speech. So my lady is texting me right now. I'm seeing if she can wait. She's got to go to the doctor, but we got a little bit of time here. Let me see. Yeah, I noticed the names of these people involved had some Scottish Rite Gematria. Again, Scottish Rite. It's got its headquarters in D.C. It's the most Jewish branch. My lady says she can wait 10 minutes, so let's finish this thing up here. If you missed my radio show this Wednesday night, maybe you don't even know about my radio show. It's every Wednesday on tfrlive.com. So if you go to tfrlive.com and then, let's see. Here it is right here. Wow, it was episode number 111. I didn't even realize that. I got 111. Oh, perfect on 11/11 too. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wait, no, the episode wasn't 11/11, but I talked a lot about 11/11. If you come and listen to this episode, you know, I do my opening. I speak on things. Pretty much every week what I do is I open up with something that I really want to talk about, the story of the week, something that's pressing on my mind, and then I just open it up to the callers. The first caller, who's a man from New York who calls almost every week and has something great to share, he comes in probably around the 20-minute mark or so, and he's on for a while because he has a big decode. And he does his decode. We go into the commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. There's commercial breaks like at every 30 minutes. But he's probably on the phone for at least 15 minutes. And you should really go back and listen to his call. He didn't even know about this right here, but what he called in to talk about was MK Ultra. And he determines that from his decode and all this research that he did, and he makes a very good job of presenting his case, that the number of MK Ultra, hey, if you're calling in right now, I'm going to call you back in just a moment, person calling in if you're on the thing. I want to finish this and then I'll call you back. He determined that 62 is the number of MK Ultra, right? So anyway, he wasn't even aware of this article, but there was this story out just before I went on the air about the CIA exploring a truth serum. And this story came out on a date with 62 numerology, and truth serum equals 62. And as the caller pointed out, when you spell mind control the German way, what MK stands for, MK Ultra, mind control is also 62, plus a million more things to that list. But this article that came out talked about how this was part of the MK Ultra program. So he didn't even have this. He didn't even have this in his decode. But it just further cements what he was saying. And really, I encourage you to go back and listen to the opening. Also, what's interesting about the opening is my whole opening was about September 11th and the giant ritual on 11/11, which on the Julian calendar would have been 9/11. So I was talking about 9/11. He ended up being the first caller, and he talked all about 62 and the MK Ultra program. And, you know, maybe this is a sign of the organic matrix, or let me think. What day was the? Yeah, so this article came out the day before I went on the air. If only I had known then. But we know now. So tfrlive.com. Listen to the first 45 minutes of the show, and there's a lot more. If you want to listen to the whole show, I mean, it was a great show, but you'll get everything this caller said, and it just really builds on this right here. But what a mockery, right? CIA explored using potential truth serum drug for post 9/11 interrogations. What I felt after 9/11 is that, you know, there was like this magical spell over the people of the world that kept them from seeing the truth. And for some reason, the magical spell wasn't working on me. Because I don't know how people fell for the lies of that day, the demolition, the boogeyman in the cave, King George II. Also yesterday, somebody called in or maybe it was a message in the chat, either way. He was talking about the Lyndon B. Johnson quote from 1962 about he who controls the weather will control the world. And I noticed that he made that comment on May 27th. That's the 147th day of the year. Big number there. Freemason, 147. Conspiracy, 147. There's 147 windows on the White House. He was vice president then. He would become president. U.S. president's 147. President of the United States, 147. And this control of the weather is a big conspiracy. With regards to 62, that was a big number in the Houston, Texas flooding. If you want to go back and see my work on that or read the chapter on weather warfare, 62 was a big number in that Houston flooding. In Hebrew, flood equals 62. And I noticed that Lyndon B. Johnson, his birth numerology was 62. And what else tripped me out about Lyndon B. Johnson is his birthday's August 27th. Now, remember, that's the day in history that Stevie Ray Vaughan died, who had the best-selling album Texas Flood. And he died on the same day that became the day of the Great Texas Flood, August 27th, 2017. And remember, August 27th is the 239th day of the year, the 52nd prime. August 27th, 17 was also a date with 52 numerology. Flood equals 52, Earth 52. Weather warfare, manufactured flooding by military technology admitted by world government since 1952. It was the UK Royal Air Force that admitted it first. Then it was the United States during the time of Vietnam, which is around when this quote was made. Also, somebody pointed out, and they were correct, the earliest experimentation for weather warfare and manufactured flooding and rainmaking goes back to Texas. Now think about what they did, 8/27/2017. Which happened to be Lyndon B. Johnson's birthday, who made this quote. This is how we put the pieces of the puzzle together as a team. This is how we further prove just how ritualistic these things are. And think about how JFK was killed in Texas, causing Lyndon B. Johnson to become president. What state is Lyndon B. Johnson from? Where was he born? He was born in Texas. Even better. Or not long after the experimentation started in Texas. And let me look at Stevie Ray Vaughan's death real quick. Did he die 27 years to the day of the flood? He did. 27 years on the 27th, the ritual number. How sick. Best-selling album, Texas Flood. And then don't forget Matt Harvey, the first pitcher to pitch in Houston after the flooding of Harvey, exactly 52 days before the World Series. And then remember this one? We said it was going to be Astros over the Dodgers because of the fires and the flooding. And then Vice Sports wrote this article. If I can find it here. We got too many windows open. We can get this to relax here. They wrote this article making fun of me and what I predicted and mocking the 52s throughout the article and, quoting me and just making fun of it. But what most people wouldn't think to do is take the author of this article and see what his name equals. Sean Newell. Sean Newell. 52. And like people have said, his title, it mocks me, but at the same time, it's proves World Series was rigged. So I think it's a subtle acknowledgement that it is correct. All right, you guys, I got to go pick up my lady, but we did have somebody just phone in. Apologize, and I got to cut this one short. I'll make it up to you last week. I guess every episode this week's gone more than an hour, so we can cut one a little short. But we did just have somebody call in here, and I'm going to call them back, assuming that they were trying to phone in about this radio program. Except for, okay, there we go. All right, let's see.
Hey, my brother.
Hey, were you trying to call in to be on the podcast?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. You're on.
Hey, my brother.
What's up?
Hey, Zach.
How you doing, man?
Man, you gotta go. You gotta pick up your lady. So I got too much to talk about to talk to you this time, but
it's okay. She can wait. We have time to get to the doctor, so it's not a big deal. Shoot your mind. We're listening.
No, man, I got too much to talk about. You want to know about weather warfare and the elongated skulls, and ancient history? I'm not an expert on anything, but I've studied everything.
I know that.
Just for all you truth seekers, just for all you truth seekers, go check out Mark Passio's UFO video. That is the cloud makers that our military has up the sky, or the CIA, or whoever the hell's got them up there. Go check out Mark Passio's UFO video from 2014, and you will see the cloud makers in action.
Is it the one that's called UFO Fleet 2014, December 27th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cloud makers, man. I didn't put that together until like in the last year, because I've been seeing it with my own eyes. Not the video he has, just the shapes in the cloud. If you look for right angles and the swirls and the circles in the clouds, you can watch them. I mean, I was watching them today. I can go outside and videotape it right now if I had a damn camera. I can videotape them doing it today in Georgia. I mean, they're up there all the time, man.
Well, I believe it, man. It seems that everywhere in this world, the sky is getting tampered with, and today here's another example. I wasn't aware about the UFO thing, but I have seen like those History Channel documentaries about the U.S. Air Force experimenting with the UFO aircraft, so it makes sense. I'm going to look more into it. Mark Passio does a lot of great work, so I will check that out.
Yeah, man, they're up there, man. I mean, if people, I don't own a phone. This is actually my mom's phone. It's a flip phone. I don't own a phone, but I go out there and look. I watch the sky every day, and you can see them. I mean, they're blatantly obvious if you just go out there and look. If you know it, if you look for right angles and circles and swirls, you can picture it. I mean, it's right there. And Industrial Surrealism Channel back in 2012 was documenting all this. That's how I figured out what the hell I was looking at. He's got some great videos from back in 2012 with the cloud making ships and the cloaking and the smoke screen and all that. Man, it's all there. If you do the research like I have, you'll see it.
Appreciate it, man. I'm going to check it out. Great tip.
Yeah, man. I love the Gematria, though, bro. I didn't even realize that the video you did earlier about the SUV, the black SUV following in back in 2014 and all that, I didn't even realize I was following you back then. I thought it was about 2016 when I started following you, but I remember you talking about that back in 2014. So.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate your call. You have a great day.
Yeah, y'all check out the elongated skulls and the ancient cities, and Vlad 9BT is a good channel to check out for all the crazy shit that nobody knows about.
What's that channel name again?
Vlad 9BT.
Vlad 9BT. Let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah, he just got all kinds of pictures of weird anomalies and structures and UFOs carved in the rock, and all kinds of stuff. He doesn't. Yeah, that's it. Got it.
All right, I'll check him out. I'll subscribe and check it out.
Yeah, y'all check it. Everybody check him out. He's got some crazy ass shit. He doesn't talk, but he's got some crazy stuff, man. And if y'all just check that out and I'd love to go see where he's taking these pictures from. He's a good dude, man.
Very cool. Yeah, can never have enough information and knowledge. Appreciate the tips. Yeah. We got somebody else trying to call. I'm gonna take their call real quick, and then I better hit the world, or otherwise I'm gonna have an angry lady. So, thanks, brother.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
All right, take care, man. See you.
Peace.
All right, Jonathan tried to call in. Let me get Jonathan back. Jonathan.
Hey, Zach. Hey, I know you gotta go. I'm trying to go quick, okay?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. So I just wanted to add on to what you were saying. Diddy and Nas came out with one of Nas's biggest hits, "Hate Me Now."
Oh yeah.
The date of the release was 4/6/99.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is crazy. I just found this out. 4/6, like sacrifice, like how Diddy's baby mama was murdered at 46. Diddy equals 46. Sacrifice equals 46. Rap equals 46. Now, if you add 4 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, the date "Hate Me Now" came out.
38.
Comes adds up to 38.
Right.
It adds up to 38, like death. Death also equals 97, like how Biggie dropped dead in 97.
That song's 4:44 long too. Killing in Sumerian. Rapper. Masonic. Yeah.
Okay. And Craig Mack died at 46. So, you got to know who you're dealing with when you're talking about. The reason why Puff Daddy is the richest person in hip hop is because of this. Think about it. So his first two artists that he signed, Craig Mack and Biggie, they're both dead. His baby mama's dead. Shine did 10 years in prison for supposedly shooting the club up, but come to find out, Diddy and Shine were in the club, and Diddy was throwing money. And then this other guy came up to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I got money too." So he started throwing money too. And Diddy was the one who shot the club up because he didn't want the guy showing off in front of him. So Diddy shoots the club up, and then Shine gets the rap, and then he gets to 10 years. He gets 10 years in prison.
Right.
Mace, after being on that label, he turned religious. Loon, he turned to Islam after being on that label. Black Rob, Diddy was screwing his money Diddy was screwing over his money so much that he had to resort to robbing, and he had to go do a stretch in prison for robbing. So my whole point is that his whole label is revolves around death and tragedy and sacrifice, and that's the reason he's the richest person in hip hop. So that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to hit that point because I know you got to go.
Well, it's a great point. Great observation as always, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that just puts the cherry on top for what we're already seeing here, and it brings the whole ritual together with the death of Kim Porter, the connection to Diddy, and Nas bringing out his short movie on the same day. So undeniable. I know it's "Hate Me Now" and Freemasonry got the same gematria too. So
"Hate Me Now." Yeah, and that was one of Nas's biggest songs.
Yeah, I remember that was a big song. They had a music video and everything.
No.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man.
All right. I'll be in the decode tonight. Yeah, I'll be in the chat tonight.
Cool.
Doing the live decode.
All right, man. You have a good day.
Peace.
All right, take care. Great calls, great tips as always. I'm really enjoying this program. I feel like I should be paying you guys to do it. But we've got to wrap it there. On my other line, I'm getting text messages from the lady right now. So really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll be back with the daily podcast Monday. Unless something big happens on the weekend, then I'll do one for anytime we get some huge news story on the weekend, I'll do one here as well. But Monday through Friday, plan on it Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. Till next time, Truth Seeker.